It's Friday, November 19th, and this is Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm Dennis, and I'll be your host as we explore the latest Marvel happenings across all media, as well as the occasional off-brand superpowered story. When I say we, I'm of course referring to my distinguished collection of nerd co-hosts. So I'm going to get them out here so that I'm not alone while I'm chatting with you guys. I know I'm going to regret this intro, this first one, but what the hell? He's currently trying to live vicariously through Pete Davidson. It's Frank. Oh, thank God he's muted. He's muted and it's so good.
Oh, good. We missed it. Good. It was because I was eating Tic Tacs. I didn't want people hearing me crunch in the mic. But Pete Davidson is the straight man. He found a genie and he wished for babes to just knock down his door. And I wish I knew where that genie was. I wish that wish worked. See, I'm already effing up.
You so desperately wanted that to be worked into the show, so I just put it right in the intro for you.
We're gonna. It's not. It doesn't end here.
It's soapbox content, right?
Yeah, it's soapbox content for sure.
All right. Let's get some more people out here. I used this intro last week, and I thought I would have been fine with it then, but I feel like it's even more applicable now. He still hasn't seen enough No Way Home spoilers. It's Ricky.
I don't know how to follow up that.
It's never enough.
More
right?
shit came out after the trailer too.
Oh, I know. It's never enough. It's never.
Also, the Pete Davidson thing.
If the script came out, would you read it, Ricky?
Yeah, he would. He would. Of course, he would.
Okay.
It's gross.
I'm a visual person, so it wouldn't do anything. You know how hard it took you, how long it took you to get me to read a comic? It won't ruin it for me.
You know, comics are visual, right?
Yes, but you're still reading involved.
Oh my God.
You got to imagine.
So you don't watch foreign films, is what you're saying? No foreign films ever?
Don't get me started on Parasite.
All right. Somehow his hot take is don't watch Parasite. I feel like that's time to introduce our special guest because we're done. We've hit a dead end with Ricky here. Special guest. When I say special, I mean someone willing to binge the entire season of Hit Monkey, which released on Wednesday. Is 2 days, and he's already done it. And it's our OG patron. It's Ian.
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
That you went so far above and beyond. I specifically, I even reached out to Ian and I was like, look, I don't expect anybody to finish this whole thing. Watch as much as you want. No more. This morning I get a message. I finished it.
Yeah, no, I was only on episode 5 when you sent me that too.
I mean, let's see what we can get away with. Let's make them watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next week.
I'm mostly through it. Which season are we talking about? I'm good.
Oh, if we ever have to resort to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're switching back to Star Wars.
That's the time.
Would we do an Inhumans show before we do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh my God.
Man. That would be tough. That would be bad.
I guess that's up to the audience, but I do have to follow up. I didn't notice we have a question that came in, and she wants to know, Pete Davidson, why, Frank? I think you explained that, but you could explain more if you like.
Why? What about him? Why Pete Davidson? Yeah, why Pete Davidson? I feel like she could do way better than Pete Davidson, but
you're assuming it's a genie situation though. What if it's a monkey paw situation?
You think it's a monkey?
That could be
what's he losing?
It comes at a great cost.
It does.
He gets a new tattoo every time he dates a Kate Beckinsale or something.
It is called the Mostly Marvel.
What if
podcast,
they're just using him for his youth?
They're using him?
They're getting Dorian Gray somehow.
They're succubi. They're all succubi.
Oh, yes. Wow.
I like that answer.
Succubi. That's crazy.
Because me and him are the same age, and he looks hella older than I do.
He does.
I mean, not today.
Not today. I look like Pete Davidson today.
I mean, on any other day, I'd be in favor of Ricky, but yeah.
Yeah, he's got some He's got some great taste in women. I'll give him that. So if I had a genie, I would definitely wish for the girls that he was with. But like, you can't wish for people to love you, so that's probably why his
that's
relationships are so
against the
fleeting.
rule.
It's
Will
true.
Smith sang about that in the movie.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, I'm
Said
pretty
that in the
sure
song.
Robin Williams did too. But
Not my genie.
Wow. Here's the
What?
that's the hot take of hot take.
That's just ridiculous.
Dang.
That is the only genie.
there goes our Disney sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
But anyways, back to Ian. You're awesome. Thank you for coming in. Like I honestly, we were having trouble trying really hard to think of like who would do this, who would like, because I don't know, I didn't know anything about this show going in. I wasn't a giant fan of MODOK, and I know that was kind of a chore for all of us to watch. But it really, it came out at a perfect time in that, like, we didn't have a specific thing to watch or talk about. So like, I really wanted to do Hit Monkey because it is a Marvel show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're just like, I'm just gonna ask Ian just in case I can't find somebody else because I feel like he would do it. And
I would.
then you're like,
You're
I'll
not-
do it. I'm like, all right, I'm not even gonna ask anybody else anymore.
You're not
So-
wrong. Like the way I look at it is like I'd have watched it anyway at some point throughout because it is a Marvel show, and I just look at it as like I'm supposed to be supporting these shows, especially these sort of weirder
Yeah.
ones, because that's how I ended up getting Guardians of the Galaxy the first time. Was like you got to support their weirdness
That's true.
until
That's
their
true.
weirdness
Way to look at it.
becomes the norm. So
Yeah.
you want to do something on TV that's a little different. I'm in. I know nothing about the monkey. I thought it was based on a meme. It's apparently, I don't know if it is or not, but yeah.
So Ian's down to clown.
I am. I'm always down. If it's Marvel or Nerd Fair, I'm in. Like
I co-sign
let's do
that. I
this.
co-sign that attitude. That's how I try to look at things. It's like that's why I force myself to watch all of MODOK or all of Hit Monkey because like I want to know if I can recommend this to other people or who to recommend it to, and
Yeah.
or or if it's going to lead them down the path to other cooler things that they might be interested in. So so I suffer sometimes, but like I will say, Inhumans is where I drew the line.
Oh,
I watched
three
watched one.
episodes.
I got one in, and I was like, nope, no
You didn't
more.
go to the IMAX special release.
Hell no.
No.
I'm not gonna pay to watch a TV show.
I'm
Crazy.
I'm of the opinion that I always allow a show one season to sort of grow and figure out what they're all about. I gave Inhumans 3 episodes to see if it maybe got better. It did not. At episode 3, I was like, I am done with you. I'm going back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that's a better show somehow. Somehow.
Well, we're not gonna talk about Hit Monkey quite yet because we have other stuff we want to talk about. So let me get all the formalities out of the way because we do have a fun show in store, and as advertised, like I said, Hit Monkey's coming later, promise. But before that, we have some nerd news to discuss and rumors, I think, Ricky.
Word from our sponsor, brilliant.org. Brilliant.org, if you want to get, I don't know, I'm already flubbing this. We're ruining our sponsors.
Not a sponsor anymore.
Yeah, great.
For those of you joining us live, which, we've already got somebody commenting, thank you. Don't be shy for anybody else who might be there. We'll be checking the comments regularly. And for those of you that can't get enough of us, you should visit us at patreon.com/denxmedia, where you'll find a variety of creative offerings, including early access to our live after show, The Soapbox. Patrons get exclusive access to chat with us. But if that's not your thing, don't worry. We'll be releasing it to the public next week. That's our new format. So we're selling exclusivity.
We
to
got
chat
content
with us.
here. That's what we're saying.
That's what he's saying. And Ian is like one of our favorite patrons, which is why we keep having him on. I don't know if you like the content that I'm trying to give you, but I promise to try and give you more.
I do like it.
Cool. I've been working on a lot of it this week. A lot.
Become a patron, and we'll make you part of the content.
Exactly.
It's true.
I show up to every soapbox that I can when I'm not busy and watch you guys, and a couple weeks ago, you guys went real long, and I was there all the way till the end. And that's I love hanging out with you guys, chatting, even if I'm not on the show. I love just throwing my thoughts out there and seeing what you guys think.
Ricky came up with a cool solution so that doesn't necessarily happen again. So you'll see you'll see it in the soapbox tonight. Like,
Was it,
is
is it going to be
we
like
definitely
the long-winded jar? Like whenever you get a long-winded answer, you got to put it all in the jar.
Oh, I don't know if you even saw it then, Frank, but he gave us a countdown last week.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's funny.
I guess Frank never
Wow.
saw it. He gave me a countdown, and I gave us some wiggle room. So he gave me a 10-minute warning, and I let you guys talk for about 15, 16 minutes
Yeah.
past.
Oh, you're talking about like in the chat, in the
Yeah.
private chat. He's
Yeah,
all
I was
"10
like, I was
got
like
you,
the
10
mom.
minutes."
Yeah.
You're at the
Oh, okay.
McDonald's play place. I'm like 10
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did that.
No, I saw that.
Okay.
And I saw we blew past that time because we got involved in yet another conversation that got
It
us all,
wasn't.
like,
It wasn't that far. It was pretty close to when he asked us to. I was keeping track of it,
Mhm.
but I didn't want to just be that guy that just shut us down. But anyways,
well,
I will
10
do.
minutes. And then just chopped it up. Gotta go.
But Ricky, why don't you do your thing?
Let's do it. All right. The thing that we've been waiting for happened. We got another Spider-Man trailer this past week. They kind of teased it on, was it Sunday or Monday?
So they
With
actually
a
gave a
little-
release date for the trailer, dude.
Like,
it was
trailer
Sunday.
dropping in 24 hours. And then sure thing, trailer dropped on Tuesday at 5 p.m. There was actually a event in LA where they
Yeah, it was a paid event where you could go and watch. Right,
the
like they had
trailer. They had Tom
watch the
Holland there, to be
trailer.
fair.
Yeah, and he was trying not to spoil stuff there too.
Oh,
Interesting thing enough that this was trailer 1. The last one was a teaser trailer.
Really?
So that would make it assume that there will be a trailer 2 sometime between now and
Oh,
when the movie releases.
There's always a trailer right like the week or two before the movie that just totally ruins so much shit.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna skip out on that one.
Yeah, I usually don't watch the last few trailers.
What was interesting with this trailer, it was like a sequel to the last trailer. Like usually they pull from the same. The second trailer is always a bit longer, but still has elements of the first one. This one was kind of like a sequel to that trailer where it picks up where that story ends. It's kind of weird.
It did a little bit.
Kind of, yeah.
We've got to look at some villains.
Some would say 5, some would say 6.
Yep.
It's debatable if there were 6 in that trailer or if there were 5.
What?
Oh, Ian's
What's
unfamiliar.
No, I was gonna say what's up with the ox tentacles there in that one?
The rumor is he's absorbed the nanites.
Oh,
And
nice.
the Iron Spider suits him out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it makes it red because Iron Man.
Well, of course, everything that Iron Man touches, if it's a nanite or something he's created,
Every villain has to be tied to Iron Man somehow.
Yeah,
Yes.
they all have to be part of the Iron Man family, the Iron family.
Ricky, you're forgetting. This is the better view.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
that's a good goblin. It looks like
That's
the
a real
last
good-
goblin.
Yeah. So while Ricky's showing us the pictures, why don't you guys tell me what you thought about it? I have some opinions, but I want to let you guys go first. Ian, you want to tell us what you thought of the trailer?
I mean, you know how easy I am to relatively, at least, to please on that kind of stuff. Like, you gave me a trailer that had Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. I know that they're both together in a movie. I'm good. The villains are cool. I'm into the idea of them being pulled into the universe or him being pulled into theirs, what have you. I don't know exactly which it is, but I'm down for the villains that we're seeing. I'm sure there's probably some stuff we're not seeing yet that I'm hoping they're going to just not tell me until I get to the theater. But I liked it. Give me more Doctor Strange in it, and I'm good.
Ricky?
I thought we were gonna see Spider-Men in this trailer. They're really keeping a lid on that as much as they can, even though it seems like the world knows that they are in it. So I applaud them for making us wait a bit more. But it was cool. I mean, specifically to what the trailer I liked was the Jamie Foxx stuff. I liked the starfish Electro. Neat way to
Yeah.
do it.
We said it was going to happen, right? Like
Mhm.
that's kind of been the MCU's thing, right? Is like the MCU might not be the most comic accurate storytelling version of all the characters, but the MCU really tries to make them look as closer to the
at
comic
least
thing
once.
you've seen.
Yeah,
At least once. At least once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They like to reference their history versus a lot of people that sort of like to shake it off a little bit when they're doing a movie version of something.
Yeah. Frank, what did you think of that one? That
It
trailer.
was okay. I'm sure it was. It looks like it's going to be fun, but the more fun that I have with the trailer in the MCU, the less fun I have in the theater, and the more I'm gripping. I'm just trying to like let it go and just enjoy it and let the art wash over me. Is the more problems I have, the more fun it is, I guess, or vice versa. No. The more fun the trailer, the more problems I have when I'm watching it. The more logic problems and dick and fart jokes and just general MCU-ness I have with it. So this one looks like it's going to be one of the most MCUs of most MCU-ness. Like the part where they're just disrespecting Doc Ock like that, I'm all like, oh, okay. So the new Spider-Man is going to shit on the legacy of the old Spider-Man. Very cute, MCU. I really like that you're doing that. It makes me really want to see your movie, and I'm so endeared. So
I mean, don't tell me you ever gone to the zoo and make fun of the lions in the cage.
yeah, no, I do that. I do that whole that Richard
I've
Pryor joke.
never made fun of an animal that could kill me.
No, I do that whole
I make fun
Richard
of the
Pryor thing.
stupid
I'm all like,
animals.
hey, what's up, lion? And then I just grab my dick and like fucking wiggle it at the lion.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Well, don't
Kid,
pull your dick
don't
out.
do that.
Wiggle it through your pants. That's the loophole they don't tell you. That's the loophole they don't want you to know. At the
Life
zoo.
hacks with Franks.
Yeah. Don't actually pull it out. Wiggle it through the cloth.
Well,
I'm gonna put a the more you know on that one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll get 2
So-
years off your sentencing.
So I know Ricky's already trying to like move to the next topic, but like I would like to give my take.
oh yeah,
on
what
that.
do you
Please
think?
do.
Guy wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
You totally were gonna move on to the next thing, weren't you? You're so rude, man. I can see it in you. I'm gonna say this year has been a weird journey. I'm gonna go for a little bit on this one.
Okay.
We started this podcast like in January because I thought it would be this fun thing, to have Ricky do. Ricky and I we did a Star Wars podcast, but I wanted to add like some real extra nerd to it. So I was like, let's get Frank, because Frank knows Marvel like in a fun way that like he's not afraid to talk about wiggling his dick in front of a lion as well.
He's not.
And so yeah, Frank, you had a lot. So if we never tell you you're appreciated, you're very appreciated on the show. But here's the one thing that I was always worried about with Frank is, would Frank rub off on me? And I think he has. I think he has. And here's the thing, because
Frank's attitude.
It was
Rub
only
off on
one time.
Okay.
I thought nobody was looking. I thought Dennis was asleep.
Busted.
And it's not. And this is not to say. This is not to blame you for anything, but you've constantly, as long as I've known you, you've constantly made light of the MCU because you see it for what it is in a way that a lot of people don't see it for what it is, right? And I think I finally am there in that I wanted Shakespeare from this Spider-Man movie. But what my wife made me realize the other day, she had to talk me off a ledge after I saw this trailer.
Oh wow!
I was really angry. I was really angry with that trailer, and it's because every Marvel movie that I've ever watched, I get really emotional at some point in the movie when it references something from the comics, and I think the reason I get emotional is because I remember how I felt when I read that comic. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that the movie actually deserves that emotion when I give it to it. You know what I mean? They're just really good at making me experience member berries in a way that I enjoy, because nostalgia is a hell of a drug, right? But honestly, if we're really looking at these movies just by themselves without the source material, they're kind of superficial in a lot of ways. You know, like a lot of them have the same formula they follow. A lot of them uh, are very well done in that they appeal to a large audience, but they don't necessarily go deep and dark like the way sometimes the comics do, right?
Mhm.
And so
Right.
so for me, after the first trailer of this movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, or even after the end of Far From Home, I was super excited because like I was like, oh my god, they're gonna do the story where Peter's is outed and his life just goes to shit, and like he has to like suffer some incredible like new levels of pain in his life. And I was so excited for that, right? I was like, yes,
masochist.
let's put Peter Parker through the ringer, because that's when Peter Parker's his best, like, or
Mhm.
he comes out the best, right? And so that's all I've wanted for like 3 years now, is to see Peter suffer. But this trailer made me realize
He's a fan.
I am a fan of. Can you tell me I'm not a fan of Peter Parker?
That
Because
wasn't sarcasm. That wasn't, to be clear, that's not
I
sarcasm.
don't know. You
Yeah,
don't have
If
as many
if you don't want
Spider-Man
Peter to
figures behind
suffer,
you.
if you don't want Peter to suffer, you're not a fan of Spider-Man.
I actually
It's
do
true.
have quite a few
It's
Spider-Man
true.
figures behind me. We don't need to count right now, but I'm pretty sure I have way more than you.
30 makes a fan.
Uh-huh. I have an entire shelf of Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
Anyways, so I think when I realized that this trailer showed me that the first act may be the depressing part of his life, but
Mhm.
but at the end of that first act, he's gonna remember that Doctor Strange, his good old buddy, can fix it all, right? And then he's gonna go there, and then that's the end. That's gonna be the end of the drama, and then it's gonna be a good popcorn munching experience for the rest of the movie, right? Because whoops, Doctor Strange screwed up, and he brought in the Sinister Six and all this other stuff, and like it's all gonna be fun and games and everything, like, and everybody's gonna love it, and maybe Toby and Andrew will show up, and people will lose their shit, even though for 12 months we've all known it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think I don't mean to
Mhm.
be bitter. What I'm trying to say is I've accepted that tonally it would be wrong to give me the story that I want, because it wouldn't fit the tone of the other movies in the series so far, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so what like I was saying before, my wife told me, you're expecting Shakespeare. Why not expect the Thanksgiving Day parade instead?
Well, that's
Fun
that's
fact: that's where
exactly
Spider-Man faced off with the Green Goblin for the first time. No, you're not wrong.
That's a
But
Yeah,
But,
it's
like,
So
like
you
going,
mean you
it's
mean
like-
the first time in the Sam Raimi
in
movie?
the Sam Raimi movie.
Okay, I was having a hard time understanding what you
The
meant.
reference.
that wasn't the
Yes.
Thanksgiving Day
Um,
parade. That was the International Day.
That was the
Like
Macy
it's-
Gray. That was the Macy Gray
The
parade,
the Macy
bro.
Gray.
Not sorry,
the
got to
Macy's
confuse
parade.
with the Macy's parade.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, you
But-
gotta.
But you can't
go
you
ahead.
can't go to McDonald's and expect a Ruth Chris steak.
yeah.
But see, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I've done this with Frank for a year, and I think I get it, Frank. I get it now. It is
You gotta take
your
it for what it
McDonald's
is.
your McDonald's analogy was always on point. I just didn't want to accept it. But I'm there now. I'm
Like
there.
if I'm a Feige or Amy Pascal and Spider-Man 3 script comes across my table, we're gonna put the 3 live action Spider-Man in a film together. That's a cool achievement on its own. Let
It's
alone
not really
whether
nothing's an
the
achievement when all it
story-
takes is money. That's not an
It
achievement.
doesn't though. It doesn't always take money. You have to
No,
convince.
no, I'm saying when all it takes is money, and I'm pretty sure that's all it took.
I'm
was
sure
those-
money's a big part of it, but you have to get Toby
You gotta
back.
get
You know,
You got to get a lot of people on board for that.
Yeah,
But you
A
think
lot.
money helps. Money's a huge
Yeah.
part of it, but it's a pretty freaking cool achievement to get. Just to tie all those films together. Like imagine some Bond situation where they get all the living Bonds together. That's a cool thing.
no?
I mean-
that is a completely different
you want to
thing.
keep it relevant. Ghostbusters came out this week. Spoilers: the old Ghostbusters are in the new Ghostbusters movie.
The old
like,
living ones,
The
but that's
old
what I'm
living
saying.
ones.
Yeah.
But
that's
that's
what I'm
cool.
saying.
Like that's
That's not that cool because like it doesn't mean anything because it doesn't mean
It's
it
a
doesn't
member
mean any-
berry.
Well, we were talking about it being unearned. It's unearned. Like
It's
Avengers
unearned.
Endgame, even though I didn't quite like it, that last part was earned because it built up over the course of 20 years.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, it's not built up. It's just something they're all like they kind of did it as an afterthought almost. They're all like,
It
well,
just,
it worked
like,
for
yeah.
Spider-Verse.
The
Yeah,
window
we're gonna-
to get all 3 Spider-Men in a movie and actually doing Spider-Man stuff, that window's going to close like in 5 years.
In 5 years, geez, you're young. You think Tobey Maguire's gonna be retired and dead in 5 years?
I think he will be less likely to want to do it in 5 years.
Well, he doesn't need to do it in 5 years because he's doing it now. But I'm saying
you know what I
That's
mean.
true.
Like
that
you have
window-
this.
No,
If
dude,
you're in the window right now, I get why they're doing it.
No, you don't understand it because you never read Spider-Verse.
I-
But there are some super old Spider-Men in that story, like really old, and it
Like
would be
real old.
totally fine. You could have done it. You could have had the window in 20 years from now. But what I'm saying,
There's
like,
Spider-Man who don't actively participate.
yeah, to compare it to say that it's as big as getting all the James Bond is not giving James Bond credit for the longevity of that franchise. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The Spider-Man franchise has only
Like,
existed for 20 years.
How do you feel
not
about
that
the
far.
Flash movie then? Having the Batmans. Let's pivot.
I mean,
Well, if we're pivoting, DC is a different thing because DC has more leeway to try more batshit crazy stuff because they don't have a formula. They don't have a set formula. DC is just like you shake up the dice and whatever you get is a DC movie.
yeah,
For good or
exactly.
for better or for worse.
I think the thing that I'm concerned about, if we're getting into nitpicks, is what Frank was saying is Kevin Feige clearly has a checklist that he wants to hit on every character that he does, right? He tries to do it in a trilogy. Sometimes you need more, like Thor's getting the 4th movie because they're like, okay, we didn't quite get everything that we needed in those 3 Thor movies plus the Avengers. But for the most part, he tries to get all the bells and whistles that you would want to see, in your Captain America story. We got a pretty good arc for Steve Rogers.
We did.
We got, like from Iron Man to Endgame, we got a really good arc for him, So but the clock's ticking on Spider-Man because of that Sony contract. So if you have a smaller checklist that you want to pull off on Spider-Man, I know the Sinister Six is at the top of that list.
Yeah.
And I think I've been pretty happy with how Marvel's handled the introduction of villains most of the time. But like this is a really, really cheap ass way to do a Sinister Six.
It is, but they teased the Sinister Stick. They were building towards it with the Amazing series. Like there was threads.
That was also bad too, though.
Oh no, I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying they were working towards it. So it's not like this was suddenly they were like, oh, we got an opportunity to do it. They were working towards it. They have a good opportunity.
They were skyrocketing towards it.
Yeah,
they were like, we got to do it all by the next.
We gotta
movie.
go.
Yeah, we do. We do.
That
would have been movie 3, right? So I mean, that seems to be the goal.
I mean,
is
but it's
get it in 3. Get your intro.
But it's not his Sinister
It's not
Six.
personal.
He has no connection to any of them, and I think
That's
that's
true.
my
That's
problem with it. The
I think
Sinister
also-
Six is a Legion of Doom that is tired of getting their asses handed to them by their Spider-Man.
They band together.
Yeah.
What I liked about the the Toby universe is that they organically built a Sinister Six. By the 4th movie, if they would have given us a Sinister Six, it would have been well earned, like way past earned.
Yes, they could have done it in a 4th Toby movie for sure.
I think it would have been pretty earned, but
Yeah.
we'll never see that world. That's the world I want to live in.
Anyways, I thank you for indulging me for this rant. I am excited to see the movie. I have gone to the Macy's Day Parade twice in my life. It's an event. It's stupid, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
And that's
So
what this movie
I
will
can
be.
be okay with it.
It'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's like actually I'm going to share a story on the soapbox about pretty fun. It's this friend of mine's analogy of Disneyland and Magic Mountain, or Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland, and I'll share it in the soapbox, and you'll know why when I talk about it.
Okay.
Seek
So
Out
we're
Soda
looking
left
to-
a message there. You wanted Pete Davidson dead in Infinity War? Damn.
No, I wanted Peter Parker dead in Infinity War, and I got that. So that's why I shouldn't really
You did.
complain because
That-
I
that's
got
why
the things.
You got
I
to be
got what I
specific
wanted.
with your wishes.
Yeah.
You got to be more specific. I want Pete Davidson dead. Don't just say Peter. You got to say Pete Davidson next time.
I'm just gonna clip you just saying I want that dead. You know.
I want Spider-Man. I
man.
want Pete Davidson. I want pictures of Pete Davidson.
Okay, Ricky, I
Alright.
know you got other news for us. Thank
We got
you
other
for that.
news. All
Thank
right,
you.
What do we
moving
got?
on, or we'll stick with the MCU. The MCU this week was confirmed to be the new 616, and
I don't think it
feel
was
like
confirmed to be the new
What?
616. No. Hey,
All right.
I hope you have the full
Hey,
quote.
okay. Marvel Studios producer Nate Moore confirms that the MCU is set in the 616 universe. In the simplest of terms, 616 universe is the main Marvel universe as it pertains to the comics. It's where a majority of the stories, characters, and events all reside within the same timeline.
So just to be clear, I think what he means is inside their universe, they refer to their universe as the 616. And I think that was first noted by in Far From Home. I think
Mysterio, yeah, it's
I thought
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, he did say that, and then you see it in Selwig's board on
Yeah.
Thor Dark World, I think. Oh yeah,
yeah,
right there.
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, obviously anybody who reads the comics knows what the real 616 is, but in fairness, everybody thinks they're the hero of their own story, so it's cool, whatever.
It's
I don't
true.
know. Does Saruman think that?
Yeah,
He's
he
got
thinks
to.
that.
He's got to. Okay.
Yeah, he does. He's got to think that. He does.
alrighty. Scarlett Johansson working on a new Marvel project.
She is with Kevin
that-
Feige. It's
yeah,
top secret.
that dropped last night. She
Interesting.
was being awarded the America Cinematique Award, which is presented annually to extraordinary artists making significant contributions to the art of moving pictures. Scarlett, of course, has been in the industry for a majority of her life, so it's obviously a well-earned award. But she was, I want to say, presented by Kevin.
Kevin.
Whoa, you called Kevin now.
Oh, you guys are
Kevin.
Like that, huh?
Kevin presented the award to
Yeah.
her, and in his little speech he gave, he mentioned that they are working together on a new top secret Marvel project.
Yeah.
So that to
I-
me sounds like she's voicing a character in a what if, or some animated thing, because they're not going to put her on screen as anything other than Black Widow.
Actually, I read she's producing.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yeah,
she's
it's
producing something.
producing. I think it's the Yelena thing, whatever that is.
Probably.
That was rumored
Probably.
forever.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Feige was pretty classy through that whole awkwardness thing, right? He was supporting her the entire time, and
Yeah.
so I thought that was cool because like Disney dicked her pretty good, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
they and then they had to own up to it and they had to pay her a lot of money. So
Yes, they did.
yeah,
And they
All
learned
of
their
the-
lesson.
and-
hopefully, with
and now
everybody else.
and they learned their lesson, and now we don't get to see movies anymore on day one because they're like, nope, not doing that again because people get mad.
Yes,
kind
they did.
of cool. But RDJ was there, Chris Evans, Jeremy Renner, Sam Rockwell, John Favreau
That's
were
cool.
all there supporting their fellow MCU
we're-
hero.
Where were they when she was suing Disney?
They were trying to get more movies made, so they didn't say
They
anything.
were pretty quiet.
They were.
Pretty quiet.
They were at home washing their tights.
I'm just putting that out there. I had your
I
back,
mean,
ScarJo.
you can't
I had your
comment
He
on
did.
ongoing litigation within the company, right?
There you go.
That's fair enough.
There's a clause. There's a clause somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Something
signed
like
the
true.
paper.
What else you got, Ricky?
Leaked hiring sheet hints at MCU Daredevil project.
We knew this was coming, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
It's kind of funny. Vincent D'Onofrio is very actively tweeting his support for the Hawkeye series.
Yeah,
He's so excited.
He's been tweeting that for a while now because I'm pretty sure he's going to show up. And if
I
he
sure
shows
hope
up,
so.
Hawkeye. He's always been a big fan of Hawkeye.
if he shows up, oh man,
If they do it right, the episode he would show up in would come after a Spider-Man movie, where potentially other Daredevil people would show up in. So,
yeah, I don't know
Other
if they're
Daredevil
gonna.
people. Oh, like okay.
I
never
don't
mind.
know
Sorry,
if
I was
they're-
thinking like a Daredevil verse or something.
We'll see. We'll see.
With Ben
you know what I
Affleck
mean?
swinging
You know what I
in
mean?
or-
Yeah,
How-
like the whole Agents of Shield thing, how they timed it with the
Yeah.
releases. Yeah,
Yeah.
they might
Yeah.
do it. It would be really cool. It would be a nice 1-2 punch.
Mhm.
Only the second one would be like, oh, this is on TV, like. But yeah,
I mean, if they're hiring for everybody except Kingpin and Daredevil, then I'm good with it. I'm happy with my Daredevil
exactly
and
what they're
Kingpin that we got.
yeah.
So,
I think that's
I'm
exactly what
good
they're doing.
If
Yeah.
that's what they're doing, if they're trying to find
Come
a
on!
new
I like
Daredevil-
Foggy. I like Foggy. He was cool.
No, I'm not saying any. I'm
They
saying
bring
I
John
like
Favreau
all of
back
them.
as Foggy.
I liked all of the characters,
No,
but I'm
don't
just
bring
saying.
Favreau in as Foggy.
I'm just saying, if we're going to be doing a new series, I really already had my Kingpin and my Daredevil, so I
think
don't
we're
know
gonna
who
keep-
I would be like.
I think
"Ooh,
we're gonna
that would
keep
be a
them.
good replacement."
And by the way, I think that show is probably why that Daredevil show is probably why I expect Shakespeare out of everything, because like
Yeah,
I
totally.
still want to consider that show MCU, even though it was Jeff Loeb who was relegated to his own little like corner of the office and didn't get to play with the big boys. But like that show was dark and serious, like, and I think that's why I feel strongly about seeing like Spider-Man take some punches too, like get down in the mud and stuff. So, but it's not going to happen. So I'm okay with it. It's fine.
I hope it happens. I hope it surprises us.
Unless they kill Aunt May, MJ, and Ned, and then I'll be like, yeah,
give me
I don't know.
more.
I see Aunt May going south on this one. I think she's dead.
And then they release
I think
gas in
that's
the
going to be the
theater.
dark.
See,
I think that's
Calzona,
going to be the dark.
don't hate on this one, all right? Like, don't hate. You love Charlie Cox too. Let it go. We got a bunch of other disabled representation in the MCU. Let Daredevil
we
be
got
played
Echo.
by
Echo's
Charlie
getting
Cox.
her own show.
Yeah. Apparently that girl's like a one-legged deaf person, man. That's amazing. Like that's like extra. That's extra.
We're checking a couple boxes.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
So
That's
do you think
it.
they'd be better? So Far From Home, Aunt May gets it, MJ gets it.
You mean No Way Home? Yeah,
No Way Home, No Way Home. Aunt May gets it, MJ gets it, Ned gets it, and then they poison the popcorn in the theater so that everyone that bought popcorn gets
That's
killed
dark.
too.
Yes, because I never buy popcorn in theaters.
You're just watching everyone just die around you like that scene in Batman, the first the 1989 Batman.
You think
That would be amazing.
You think they kill a Spider-Man in that movie?
I don't think they kill either of those.
If they do, it'll be for like a cheap moment where they're just trying to gain some kind of
I think
emotional.
we just
It's
got
gonna-
done talking about it being a Thanksgiving parade, and now you want emotional, like serious.
I mean,
No,
you're talking
you
about
don't
people dying. I threw out the question.
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
That's going to be their Uncle Ben moment
It's
that they
fine.
never earned yet.
Oh,
He's
All
all
right.
with
They
some power
earned it.
comes a
They
little
earned
bit
it.
of.
I mean, that they didn't have yet. I guess unless you count.
You're gonna get it in Spider-Man freshman year. I promise you that. It's gonna be sucky. You're gonna
Yeah.
watch it in a cartoon, and you're gonna be like, no.
yeah,
Oh no!
Unless the animation's like Invincible or Hitmonkey.
It's like Ren and Stimpy. Wait. You just compared the Invincible animation to Hitmonkey. You suck. You just suck.
Hitmonkey's way worse.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank
Hitmonkey
you.
is way
Thank
worse.
you. Okay. Keep going. We're not there yet. But
That's
I
it
just
for
had
my
to,
news.
I just had to make sure that Frank knew he sucked if he was actually saying they were the same.
They're in the same DNA, the same
no,
animation universe.
No. Okay. Anyways, you know what? You guys need a game because Everybody's a little too salty right now. Everybody needs to play a game.
You brought on the salt with your Spider-Man rant.
I did bring a lot of it. It's true. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys, hit the button, Ricky. Hit the Okay, it's my turn to bring us a game.
Contest of Champions.
And yes, we're doing the Contest of Champions again. And this time we're doing the freaking. I'm bringing it back, guys. Who's who in the Marvel U?
Oh,
That's
man.
Boner Man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Captain Boner, I think.
So you guys, I'm giving you all a chance to guess it out loud. Or wait, do we want to do it where we guess it out loud, or do I want to give you 5 seconds and then you all say who it is?
Your
I'll
game,
just
dude.
guess it out loud.
Just guess it out loud.
All right, what you got, guys?
That's Black Knight.
Yeah, that's where I was going. It feels a little too obvious for.
I was gonna say
Black Knight.
Prowler,
I feel
but
like it is obvious,
I'm leaning
yeah.
towards Black Knight now. Now that Frank said it.
Yeah, that's where I was heading.
The only thing
It
is
could
the
be-
neck's
it
a little funky.
It could be Prowler unzipped. Prowler unzipped.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Could be.
Oh man, speaking of Prowler, when we were watching Homecoming, and my wife was all like, "Wait a minute, did he just mention his nephew? He mentioned his nephew. Is that the Prowler?" Like she put it together, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing!"
There it is.
You guys, maybe I made this too easy for you guys this time. It's the Black Knight,
That
aka
sword
Dane
is
Whitman.
Held very
Dane
in a very
DeHaas,
specific
Dane
position.
DeHaan.
First appearing in Avengers number 47, 1967. All right. I guess that was too easy for you guys.
Featured in Marvel's
I was just
Eternals.
reading about Black Knight.
I'm not feeling very optimistic about these next ones. So
Why
let's
is
see.
his sword being held like that?
All right, guys.
Um,
Did I do this? Did I do this wrong?
It's a beast, maybe.
That seems like Wolverine. But I feel like
Wolverine is where I
easy.
was heading,
No.
but that feels like it's too easy because this seems like Dennis
D-Man?
tried to
Is it
throw in us.
D-Man?
Oh, that's Batman. I think that's capeless. That's Zur-En-R Batman without a cape.
Nighthawk or whatever his name is from the Squadron.
yeah,
Supreme.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
beat.
Ricky got it.
Yeah. You know why I
D-Man.
know who that is? You guys were talking about D-Man last week, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
Maybe a month or so ago.
is Demolition Man based on D-Man?
No,
Not
D-Man's
at
name actually is Demolition Man.
Okay, but they're not the movie. I've never seen Demolition
It
Man.
has nothing to do
No,
with
Okay.
You've never seen the movie? Oh.
there's one to watch.
the Demolition
Okay,
Man in
but-
this political climate is perfect.
What I
While
love
researching that, I found D-Man, and I'm like, this
Okay.
dude looks fucking stupid.
What I love about D-Man is that he's totally rocking Daredevil's original costume and Wolverine's mask.
And Wolverines, yeah.
In
he's
his
rocking-
intro comic, don't they say like, "Is that Wolverine? Is that Daredevil?" In his
I
first,
don't
I have not read his.
look
intro
up his
comic,
first
I promise.
appearance.
You mean the Thing number
The Thing
28?
Yes.
1985.
June
The
1985.
1985 classic.
We'll do that later. Maybe we won't do that right now. I think is probably the thing.
Soapbox
Okay.
All
that.
right, good job, Ricky. Here you go, guys.
That looks Silver Surfer like. That looks like Kirby.
No,
Does,
that-
but the surfboard's not long enough
That's not a
to.
board. That's a shield.
It's a shield of some form.
It's the Silver Shielder. It's the Silver.
Who could that be?
Task Flasker.
Could that be a U.S. agent?
Hmm?
Wouldn't he have feathers? Wouldn't he have the feathers?
Yeah, he would have the feathers.
Oh, is that?
Was it Crimson? No.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
China?
who's the other U.S. agent guy? Soldier or something like that. Shoot, I can't think of his name right now.
Nuke, not Nuke.
No, you're on the same. You're same wavelength though. You're getting. I'm trying to think of what he called himself.
Dude, look at that leg. That leg.
Patriotic white dude.
Yeah, is that patriotic white dude?
It's
There you go.
not patriotic white dude, but you're close. It's Major Victory
Major
No, it's
Victory.
not.
from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why do they have
That's
Cap
fine.
shield?
It's actually Cap Shield from the future.
Does he
Like,
just?
did he
Oh.
steal it?
He's
I
from
mean,
the-
he's a guardian.
I
He
just
can
said
steal
he's
things.
from the future.
If
Like,
you don't
okay.
tell us how he got it, like Ricky's gonna get pissed, like the Collector and What If. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
he
or
will
wait,
get
was that
pissed.
you that got pissed? I don't. who got
They
pissed?
don't actually ever say. It's just from the future, so you have to be
Oh.
okay with it. So no, I'm sure they say. I don't remember.
Steve
But
died.
yeah, but he's been around since 1969. Vance Astro. You guys want to keep going? You like
Yeah.
these?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
All right. All right.
I'm happy if my D-man win.
Here you go.
Ooh, cool. Okay, she's kicking. She's got chopsticks in her hair. So, martial artist is what I'm going with.
Whoa, that's racist.
Playing with the stereo. I was just gonna say playing off the stereotypes and stuff.
She's obviously going to be a white person,
Yes, obviously.
a racially appropriated white person. That's
show us who we're canceling.
That's MJ from the first Spider-Man, 2002 Spider-Man.
I like it. I like it.
Ian, you don't have anything, huh?
I don't. I feel like I should, but I don't.
Well, this was really a test to see how far you got in Hit Monkey.
I was gonna. Okay, all right. So I was. You know, that's funny because I was gonna say that, but I didn't know.
It's Lady Bullseye.
I didn't look up any of the characters for how they looked in the comics yet, because I don't know. I've never read the comics, so I know very little. My Hit Monkey knowledge goes as far as the series and what they showed me in the Lego Superheroes video game.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, you mentioned that mission.
Yeah.
Who was the first lady, or female counterpart superhero?
Nope, not doing that one.
Female
not
counterpart
doing that
superhero.
right now.
Was
right,
it Eve? Depending on who you believe.
We got one more. We got one more, guys.
I like her comic look though.
Here it is. Here you go.
That's Eros. Starhawk.
Oh no, is that Starhawk?
Yeah. I know that hair.
Ian, what do you think?
I don't know. It looks like I'm seeing little like horns, but it looks like one's kind of cut off.
Looks like a sex pest to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Adam Warlock. No, he usually rocks a cape.
He has a cape, yeah.
Okay, well, Ricky gets a point and Frank gets half a point because he said Starhawk.
Star Fox, yeah.
Oh, Star Fox.
It's Star Fox. It's Eros, aka the brother of Thanos.
That hair is really, really something.
First appeared in Iron Man 55, 1972.
Defeated Black Roger.
You're going a little too far there. I know what you're doing. You're doing stuff. But yeah, there you go. Did you guys like that? I think Ricky comes out the winner. I think Ricky's the winner on that one.
He's pretty good on these.
I'm pretty impressed with the D-Man guess.
Me too.
Lindsay and I were having a lot of fun with those because she's like, "Oh, these are mean," and then Ricky goes and just ruins D-Man.
Step it up, Lindsay.
But that's all I got for you for this week. That was fun. I enjoyed actually listening to you guys describe them. That was pretty good.
I like this game because it reminds me of when I was growing up and had the like Marvel encyclopedia with all the different characters, and I would pore over that, reading people's powers and their background and their origin and checking out their costumes. I would pore through those books when they would put those collections out, and this is like a game show version of it. I like that.
Yeah,
I thought about buying the most recent Marvel encyclopedia. Those things are like hella expensive.
Yes, they are. I was considering it for a little while there too, and I went to the bookstore and I was like, yeah, nope.
That's why it's better.
That didn't happen.
That's why it's better to just tune into the show every Friday.
Exactly.
Night.
Yeah, it's way better. Saves you a lot of money on Marvel.
Saves you money, and we'll do it for you. We got you. That's cool. All right. Do you think it's time to do it? You think it's time for Hit Monkey?
I think it's monkey time.
I think it
All
is.
right. All right.
Boom.
We waited long enough. It's time to put a spotlight on Hit Monkey. This one is quite the obscure character. I'm going to give you guys just the quickest little recap that I saw on IMDb for the show. It tells the tale of a wrong Japanese snow monkey. Those are called macaques, by the way. Mentored by the ghost of an American assassin as he cuts a wide swath through the Tokyo underworld. That's it. That's the summary.
Yep.
That's pretty accurate.
really quick before we talk about this. Oh, and yeah, also spoiler warning for here on out. We haven't had to do a spoiler warning for a few weeks, so it's important to put that out there now. Thankfully, that description does not do any spoiling at all, really. What before we get into talking about it, I just want to double check because I was giving you guys crap about it, but the assignment wasn't really to watch the whole thing. If you couldn't do it, that was fine. I just said watch as much as you want, and then we'll talk about that. And I was just curious, where did everybody get? How many episodes?
Well, you and Ian watched all of it.
I'm done. I finished.
We watched it all.
Frank, where'd you get?
I watched 3 episodes. I would have watched more. I was ready to watch like 6 of them, but then my wife wanted to go to sleep, and I'm all like, well, she's going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. And by going to sleep, I meant I went and played video games while she went to sleep.
Nice. So she was she enjoying it? Is that why she was watching it with you?
I think she was doing that thing where she's like, yeah, this is fun. We should do this again sometime. She's doing the Seattle Freeze on
Did you guys watch Ted Lasso or no?
We did not watch Ted Lasso.
Okay.
We didn't watch anything Sudeikis, so I don't really know too much of his humor. I think I've seen like Meet the Millers, Meet the Fockers, Meet the
Millers.
We're the
Millers.
We're
the Millers. Yeah, okay. I've seen that, and I've seen a couple other things that he's been in, I'm sure, but I don't think I really like his humor. And that we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
The new Adam Warlock is in We're the Millers.
Ricky.
Oh, really?
Ricky, how many did you watch?
Yeah, let's hear
3.
it. Ricky.
I went 3.
You went 3. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's either 3 or 10. That's how we do it.
3 or 10. That's how we roll.
Sorry about that. That's how we do it. Okay. Well, I guess the safer thing to do would be first ask Ricky and Frank what they thought of it.
I don't care about spoilers, by the way.
You're gonna get them.
I have a good sense of what's coming.
I'm giving them to you. You're gonna get some spoilers.
I mean, you didn't know about Lady Bullseye. That's for damn sure.
That's true.
Yeah, I did. It's fun. I like it. I mean, I feel like it's fun code for me. Like it's okay. Like I liked it.
You can just say
I liked it better than MODOK. I don't want to say I don't like it. I like some of the animation stuff's a little jarring. I think the animation doesn't necessarily work when it's dialogue, but when the action gets going, I think that's where that style of animation kind of shines. It's a little reminds me of The Boys a little bit in terms of like the shock factor of some of the kills.
Yeah,
I gotta agree with that.
I'm surprised in a good way of how much Marvel stuff is in this show. It's not I'll say it's not a Hitmonkey show, but it connects more to Marvel than I would have expected it to.
Yeah, well, if you don't care about spoiling, the show basically takes you on a tour of Marvel Japan.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of Japanese Marvel characters minus Sunfire, which is minus Sunfire, who's like I think one of the most famous one. And also minus the Big Hero 6 because they're in their own universe.
He's new.
Technically.
He's too new.
Big Hero 6 is too new?
Well, that they had the team before the movie came out. They had a Japanese team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like too new relative to what?
No, I'm just saying it's too new to be included in the show, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, but Hitmonkey's from 2010, so like Hitmonkey is after Big Hero 6. But anyways, Ian, tell us what you thought about it because you saw the whole thing.
I started off kind of like, okay, this is all right. And then like getting around episode 4 or 5, it started to kind of get a little, I don't know. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of like Ricky said, it was okay. And then I was about to kind of like, because you were like, you don't have to watch the whole thing. And I was on episode 5 when you hit me up and said that. I got to episode 7 and I was like, all right, I'm okay with this. I think I can finish it. And then today I actually watched episode 8 and I was like, oh snap, okay. And I powered through the rest of the series. Like I basically it came around to it at episode 8. And I'm not saying that it was bad. I'm just saying like episode 8, I was like, oh, oh, this is pretty cool. I see what you're doing.
I am living for what you're saying right now, Ian, because I got to be honest. I did not like this show, but I was watching it because I felt somebody had to finish it, right? And
Right.
I was not enjoying it because I don't like Jason Sudeikis that much. Like I am not like
Whoa.
I am not a giant Ted Lasso fan like most people. And I think honestly, who I like in Ted Lasso is everybody other than Jason Sudeikis.
He was playing.
Take a lot of flack for that in the
Sudeikis.
past.
Bryce is Jason Sudeikis.
Bryce is 100% Jason Sudeikis, and they put the burden of doing all the exposition on him. So like he talks through the entire show except episode 8. And episode 8 is where it really hit for me because all I ever wanted was that monkey to not be with Jason Sudeikis so that he could just be Hit Monkey. And
100%.
man, when they do it, it's awesome.
So
and
good.
it was everything I wanted. Like the whole time I was like, because I had to watch this over a couple, the 2 days. The whole time, every time I take breaks, I'd go out and I'd complain to my poor wife who has to listen to me talk about Marvel stuff all the time. And I'd just be like, so much Jason Sudeikis.
It is.
When I watch
it's a lot. It really is. And you hit it on the head with the Ted Lasso thing. Like he is not he's a star of that show, but there's a lot of other people that he bounces off of. But just to have him talk for
without anybody to bounce off of,
like 3 episodes of Jason Sudeikis, and I was like, man, this is the only part of the show I do not like.
It's most of the show. And
that's the thing. Is I felt like I was loving all of the show around Jason Sudeikis' character.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like that
dropped some funny lines that had me laughing, but it was like it was dropped at the right moment, but the rest of the moments he was still talking, and it was driving me a little crazy. And then you get to episode 8, and it was like very light on Jason Sudeikis. It was so good.
I don't feel his voice matches the tone of the show.
I was gonna bring up like in regards to the Jason Sudeikis 2016 Ghostbusters, like they kept trying to improv and like say witty stuff, but it never came off as witty. It was just like a bunch of people just talking and ruining moments that could have been good. And they even ruined comedic moments if they would have just been quiet.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's Jason Sudeikis.
I don't know if I fully agree, Ricky, that it doesn't match the tone of the show, because I think it is the tone of the show. And that there's so much Jason Sudeikis that he is the show. So you can't say it doesn't match the tone of the show when that is the tone of the show. But what I would say is that I think the premise, it feels like the producers didn't feel confident enough that the comedy of having a murdering like hitman monkey would play like to the audiences, so they felt the need to inject more comedy into it. You know what I mean? So I do agree with you, Frank. It's like Ghostbusters, right? Ghostbusters is funny enough as a concept. It doesn't need extra comedy. Just let the story happen organically, and it will be funny at moments where
Ghost Blowies will always be funny.
It is. Will be. Yeah.
I was talking about 2016 Ghostbusters. But like I've seen a couple of edits.
That's
where
what
they
I meant.
He was talking about Ghost Blowies over there. Yeah. That's what I thought I thought we were getting our wires crossed. But like I've seen some scenes where like it's genuinely funny if they cut out certain parts of the scene and kind of chop it up.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. And I was kind of bummed because that could have been a good movie, and then it wouldn't have been so like widely hated as it was, for various reasons. But
Dennis, I have a question, because you mentioned that you had read the comic as well, and I have no familiarity with the character in the comic, and I was kind of curious as I was watching the show, like, is the character of Bryce as, pardon the term, but grating in the comic as he is in the show? Because I was like, you know what? If it wasn't for this character being sort of on my nerves the whole time, this show would be popping the whole time.
I don't think he even.
I kind of want to punch him.
Yeah. So
I think he might say one thing maybe, and then that's it.
Yeah. So Frank and I did the extra work of reading what is kind of considered the main first arc of Hitmonkey's story in the comics, right? And when I say that, I mean like Hitmonkey is only introduced in a special appearance. He had his own special issue that was only printed originally as a digital comic, and then a week later they actually printed it as a comic. It was a one issue, written or created by Daniel Way and Dalibor Talajik. One issue, and it's pretty much.
It's
I
the
would
last
say
half of
it's-
episode 1.
well, it's almost the full. Like the last 5 minutes of episode 1 is not in that story.
Right.
What was
Right.
the last 5 minutes?
The ghost.
Oh, yeah, I'm not counting. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the monkey massacre and like
So like every part from like the moment where they're about to execute the hitman to him escaping to the mountains to him being befriended by the monkeys, all that stuff, up until the monkey picks up the gun and kills everybody, that is his first comic, right?
Nice.
And then after that, he appears in a Deadpool comic with Deadpool and Spider-Man. And that's how you kind of like validate a character, right? By putting him in a comic with two huge heavy hitting characters. And then it's a hilarious comic where Deadpool and Spider-Man are like trying to like, survive this crazy monkey that's actually,
right?
but no, he's not the villain technically, because like
he's an antagonist, but not a villain.
yeah,
Okay.
they're learning throughout the story that he is the killer of killers.
Right.
And
Okay. Got it.
And when he accidentally hits Spider-Man with a bullet, he feels really bad about it, right? And so you learn about his character just through his eeks and ooks and stuff, and eventually he goes separate ways from Spider-Man and Deadpool, and then that story is picked up again in another mini series where they go back to the mountain, like where you get to have like the continuation of that story, and only then do you find out that there is a ghost that has been talking to him this whole time. So
that's cool.
You have 4 issues of Hitmonkey's story without ever knowing this ghost
Hitmonkey
exists.
existing.
I would have loved the series more if I got 4 episodes of it without the ghost.
Hell
And
yeah!
brought the ghost in. I would have been so
Dude,
into that.
That
would have been okay.
And I feel like they just didn't feel confident enough
Yeah,
to pull that off, right? But I think execution-wise, there's no denying that comic was more enjoyable, right, Frank? Like that was
absolutely no denying.
Like it was so much easier because you know what? He's not even named Bryce in the comics.
That's fine.
And he
He's
barely
just
talks.
I don't think he even has a name. He's just
doesn't have a name.
Best assassin or something, or
He's the best assassin. And
like that,
yeah.
and he just tells the monkey, you pick up that gun in anger, you'll never put it down.
Yeah, I think that's
awesome.
the one line he has.
No,
awesome.
he calls him a killer of killers later too. Yeah, but he barely talks. So
and I would have liked the show better then, because seriously, every time he went full monkey, I was into it. I was like, this show is sick.
Oh yeah.
And then in the middle of it, while he's doing something amazing, Jason Sudeikis would pop in and be like, "Hey, jokey," and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes some of those jokes landed and actually broke up the violence enough that I kind of giggled. But it was just then it was followed by 3 or 4 other jokes that I didn't laugh at.
A shotgun.
But then it was just like, all right. So.
Yeah.
It was like, have you ever seen or have you ever played shoot, what was it? Not Ultimate Alliance. What's the X-Men Legends 2, where you get Daredevil for the first time, or not Daredevil, Deadpool for the first time.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
That guy would not shut up in the game. Like he was so good. So like I would put my TV on mute because he was such a good character to have on your team because he heals and he does damage. But like, oh my God, when I was listening to him, he would not stop talking. He's like, I'm low on health, but high in vitamin C. And he would just keep going and going. And I'm all like, oh man, that reminded me of this. So it pulled up that evil nostalgia.
Ricky, to your earlier point that you were trying to make though, I would say that Jason Sudeikis does not match the tone of the comic. Like, because there's just no comedy in that character. He's not a comedic character. He's just meant there to make you understand. Because like when you're reading that comic for a while, you're like, yeah, but how does the monkey know how to do these things? You know what I mean? And like, it makes so much more sense when you find out that there's a ghost that's actually been coaching him. and helping him like learn how to put your suit on and stuff, like you got to wear a suit and stuff like that, like all these things are organically told to you in a way that, like, normally if you're just like, oh, it's a monkey and a ghost, that's weird. But like for some reason, having gone through that crazy journey and then like on the fifth issue find out about the ghost, it was eye-opening. It was this really cool moment where it's like, oh, okay, it's a twist, right? Rather than that.
I would have preferred that.
They robbed us of the twist, and I think
Yeah.
that was because they weren't daring enough to only have Jason Sudeikis for half the story. You know what I mean?
I think, and that's the thing is, I think I liked the show when it was in its more serious moments.
Yeah.
And they were few and far between because he was talking the entire time. But it was like every once in a while he would be quiet and there would be some awesomeness, and I was like, "This is."
I mean, you get Jason Sudeikis to sign up for your show.
You're gonna use him.
You're gonna put him in as much of your show as you can.
Well, at the time, he wasn't even like a big get, too. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't Ted Lasso.
He wasn't Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better if they got another motor mouth that's funny, like someone like, I don't know, I don't want to say Dane Cook, but like someone like Ryan Reynolds or
give me a Dennis Leary, and I'm in.
Dennis Leary, that'd be a good one.
Somebody with a little gruff,
I fully endorse that. I would have liked somebody that knew sometimes it was important to be serious and other times, make the jokes.
That's the thing. I think with Jason Sudeikis, like the way his presentation in it, even when it should have been a more emotional moment, just his tone in general, not like his vocal tone itself, didn't necessarily carry it. It felt like no matter what he was saying, it was kind of jokey. Whereas somebody like, just saying Dennis Leary, because of his gravelly tone and the way his delivery in his comedy, would have been able to take an emotional moment and actually feel it in their delivery a little bit more.
It's like when Aubrey Plaza talks, all you hear is sarcasm, just sarcasm.
Sorry, go for it. I was just gonna say I think the other thing that the show has is problematic about the show is that they took a story that's very short, like in the comics, right? It's essentially a very short Kill Bill story, and they wanted to stretch it as far as they could. So they're like, okay, in order to stretch this story across 10 episodes, we need to introduce a lot of extra characters, right? Yeah. So you had George Takei's character, you had Olivia Munn's character, you had these two police officers, you had all these extra characters that are also getting their own amount of time devoted to them. And because of that, like I think the story kind of loses focus. And I know it's a show called Hit Monkey, but it's like, why is Hit Monkey not in more of the story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, and it just ends up being like some of these characters just die along the way, and you're like, was I supposed to care about that character? You know what I mean? Like
that one cop, the green cop that was kind of that wanted.
Oh, that one doesn't die. Spoilers.
Oh, he doesn't die. Okay.
It's her partner who dies. Yeah. And
wait, what are you talking about? He died. I watched him.
Oh no, the green, before the
old dude.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's another green cop later.
Yeah. There's more green cops. How many?
There's several green cops.
Yeah, there's more. See, exactly. But that's my point. You're making the point, right?
Gotcha.
It's a few too many characters that confuses the story.
No more dead cops.
Yeah.
Have you? When I was watching it, I was reminded of a comic book. You might have read, Dennis. I don't know if you've read it, Ian. Ricky, you've definitely not read it. It's called Tales from the Bully Pulpit. Do you guys know that one?
No.
Nope.
I don't.
It's super good, and it's kind of a deep cut, but it was a graphic novel, came out in like 2004, and it follows the ghost of the ghost of Thomas Edison, and it centers around Theodore Roosevelt's the main character, and he meets up with people. He's a time traveler with H.G. Wells' time machine, and he ends up going through like kind of this adventure. But the ghost of Thomas Edison kind of reminds me of the Jason Sudeikis role. He's like the levity and kind of like he's the man, but he's the man with the plan. He's kind of the brains of the outfit, whereas Teddy Roosevelt is like the brawler. And it's a super good comic book. I highly recommend reading it if you guys get the chance. But that's Hit Monkey the show done right, in my opinion.
Now, because I don't remember which episodes it was, but did you guys get to the episode where they meet the priest, the monk who can speak to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
They meet him at the temple, like when Hitmonkey gets his suit.
Yeah. So that's something that's also not in the comics, right? Like in the comics, it's just only Hitmonkey knows there's a ghost, but like
someone can understand Hitmonkey.
Bryce.
No. In the comics, shoot, who was it? There's someone else that can understand Hitmonkey and can see
Like
the
what
ghost.
he's saying.
I don't know if they could see actually, I don't remember if they could see the ghost. I read through so many. I started picking at the appearances of Hitmonkey also.
Oh, you kept reading further. Yeah, because I only read the seven issues.
The 7 issues.
Frank went all in on the monkey.
Yeah, shit. There was someone else. I want to say.
I wouldn't be surprised if eventually
Ancient
somebody
one.
can see the ghost and stuff like that. But what they decided to do for the story is just go all in on this character because they had Jason Sudeikis, so you might as well use them all. So they end up like finding out like that you can use like supernatural rules, so you can block him with salt, right? So they actually trap him at one point with salt so that he can't follow Hitmonkey, and that's the episode 8 that becomes amazing, is because then you get to see Hitmonkey be in charge of his
And it
own
was so
life.
good.
Good. Like, have you guys ever seen the show Primal?
Mm-mm.
It's a Genndy Tartakovsky show.
What? You've already got me. You've got me hooked. What is it?
You guys should watch. You know what?
Tell me where to find it.
Instead of finishing Hitmonkey later tonight, go watch that on HBO Max. It's an Adult Swim show.
Okay.
It's actually won several Emmy jury prizes and stuff. It's really awesome. It's very much in the spirit of Samurai Jack, but it's about a Cro-Magnon and a T-Rex that are forced to team up together, even though they're mortal enemies. And because it's early man, there's no talking. And so if you thought Samurai Jack was a quiet show, Primal is zero English at all.
That's awesome.
Just none. And so the entire story has to be told through visuals, through showing you, not telling you. And when I read I tried to make sure to read Hitmonkey before I watched it, right? Because I wanted that experience. I wanted to be able to know what they did right and didn't do right, so like and when I was reading the comic, and at first I was like, this is silly. The more I read it, the more I envisioned in my head, if they did it like Primal, this would be really good. And so I think when I finally went into the show, I was like, do Primal, but with guns and swords and stuff. And then they didn't, and for 7 episodes, I was just like, oh, this is like everything I hate about Ted Lasso, but so much worse because it's so much more
amplified.
Yeah. It's like times 10. It's like times 10. But I promise you, if you just don't want to watch it, just skip to episode 8.
Yeah, go to episode 8 and then
it's pretty close. It's pretty close to Primal. It's pretty close. And that
Primal
really
is what I wanted without ever having seen Primal. That's exactly exactly what I thought.
Just
they were
watched
gonna do, like
5 minutes of Primal, and a Hitmonkey ad just popped up.
I
know.
Are you watching that on HBO Max?
It's on Adult Swim right now.
Oh yeah, you watch it on HBO Max because it's better because you don't have to get the commercials.
Dennis, so reading the comic.
What?
So one of the things that I thought was strongest in the show, as far as the players involved, was Fred Tatasciore. What is his last name? Tatasciore.
Tatasciore, yeah.
Tatasciore as Hitmonkey himself. I really liked the work he was doing there. Like I didn't hate it.
I really liked him.
Lots of grunts, lots of oohs and whatnot, but he did it. He did it right.
He gave a very I Am Groot performance where you got the emotion out of every eek and ook. Yeah. I actually really loved him in that role.
I thought he was great.
He was awesome. Ricky,
Mhm.
What'd you think of Olivia Munn and the little bit that you got?
It's Olivia Munn. Like, eh, she's fine. I don't think I've ever seen her do voice work. Actually, no, she was in the Lego Ninjago movie. She was the
Yes,
mom.
she was.
But other than that,
Frank, what'd you think of her?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you right now. I don't even know what character she was. I don't even know. Was she the cop? Was she the what's it called, the speechwriter person?
She was the speechwriter
Yes,
person. She was
okay.
the niece of the of George Takei. Yeah.
George Takei, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who she was. I was trying to think. I'm all like, oh man, I keep meaning to look for Olivia Munn. This is like by episode 3. I'm all like, I wonder who she is. She's got to be one of the main ones. She can't be the old lady, or could she? I don't know. I didn't know.
Ian, what'd you think of her?
Nothing great there. I mean, honestly, the besides Hit Monkey himself, the rest of the voice cast was neither here nor there for me.
She played Akiko.
Akiko, yeah.
Did
You
you
guys
like
are
Olivia Munn?
you guys are really nice. I hated her in this show.
Oh my god!
I actually like, as the story progressed and she just kept getting more and more important to the story, I was like, why do you suck? Like, why do you suck so bad? Like, why like is she even Japanese at all?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Yes, she is. I think she's half Japanese.
Is she?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
I know she was born in Japan. I don't know if she was half Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, she was like, everybody on the show was sort of there.
Olivia Munn
Japanese
was
in
born in
news
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Sorry.
That's
She
Japan.
lived in Japan. She lived in Japan.
Her father is
she?
a
and then
German, Irish,
lived in Vietnam.
Okay.
So you're like, you don't know shit about Olivia Munn.
Her father is of German, Irish, English ancestry. Her mother arrived as a Vietnam refugee.
I read the book.
So that's Japanese.
Not Japanese.
And we know how good you are at reading, by the way. So clearly you didn't know crap about Olivia Munn.
I had rose-colored lenses because G4 came back on air this week.
Oh.
And I was thinking of all the good memories that I had watching Olivia Munn on G4.
Okay, so anyways, the weird thing about the show is like they chose the whole show to take place in Japan, like which I'm not saying that's weird because Hit Monkey is a Japanese monkey, a snow monkey. He's from the mountains of Japan, makes perfect sense. But like I found it weird because in the comics, right away, like he leaves Japan, like and goes to New York and has crazy adventures there and stuff. So I wasn't expecting the whole story to stay in Japan. So, but what I did appreciate about it is that if you look at the voice cast, there's a lot of Japanese actors. Yeah. Like I was kind of worried that they weren't going to get a bunch of Japanese actors, but they actually did. Except Olivia Munn, and I don't mind
Japanese,
and I don't mind Jason Sudeikis because, like, you know, he's playing the character he's supposed to be playing. That's fine. But man, who is not Japanese? You know that, right? You know that.
He's doubling down on his lack of information here.
I feel like Jason Sudeikis is even more Japanese than Olivia Munn.
Right? For real.
Hold on. I'm gonna see where he's from.
It's born in Tokyo.
That'd be amazing.
Once, he's more Japanese than Olivia Munn, if you ask me.
She just is so important to that story, unfortunately, and I just couldn't handle it. Like, she just was like not even trying to be Japanese at all in that story. Like, maybe because she felt bad about doing that because she wasn't Japanese and she shouldn't be doing
paychecks.
But yeah, that's what I felt like. It was a paycheck for her because she sucked, and for as important as she was to that story, she just gave me nothing to work with. Like no emotion, like just nothing. Like the whole show, and I kept thinking like maybe I would have liked all these side characters more if it wasn't for her just sucking up air, like
The
through
best-
the whole thing.
The best
George Takei
moment
was
with
great.
her, the best moment with her character, she doesn't actually talk.
Yeah.
You think it would have
So
been
there's
good, like if
that.
the show was all in Japanese
Sure, yeah,
and
I
they
would've
subbed
liked
it?
I mean,
I
I
would-
don't
I
mind.
would've been.
I mean, with the exception of Jason Sudeikis,
Yeah,
I would have been fine with that. Actually, I kind of was weirded out by how they were all speaking English all the time.
Yeah, with all the
Like-
kanji and like all the Japanese text, like all
Yeah.
around. It was
You
kinda
know what
weird.
was?
I was
You
just
know what
thinking about
was?
that too.
You know what was super awkward? Yeah, there was a lot of Japanese text through the whole show. There's a moment where there's like a wedding planning going on, and they're like on the phone with the like wedding planner, and they need the message to say something, right? That's going to be written somewhere, and they make a joke about like, no, not that, and then they say this other thing that rhymes with the word they're saying. I don't remember what it is.
Oh,
And I was like,
you're saying,
and
what
I
it
was like,
was.
you know that wouldn't necessarily rhyme in Japanese, right? Like that's
Right.
like that was just weird to me that like we're just tailoring this whole show.
while we're
for
on
American
this
audiences.
topic, in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, Doctor Strange tells Peter, "You need to Scooby-Doo the crap out of this." And in the Japanese translation, I think, or in the dub, they said, "You need to help me out, please." And there's a whole article going on how like the complexity of translating Scooby-Doo the crap out of this is just something that you can't necessarily do to Japanese,
No.
Yeah.
and it
No,
and
you
it makes
can't.
sense.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's gonna look really dumb, that line in this Hit Monkey when they do translate it to Japanese, because there better be. I hope there's just a Japanese version of the show with actual Japanese actors and Jason Sudeikis. That would be fine, you know. But like,
And Olivia Munn.
yeah,
Yeah, keep
No,
Olivia Munn.
no.
and
No,
Olivia
don't.
Munn. Yeah, she's bad, guys.
He's basically Japanese.
But I will say the other, like, since I, Ian and I can talk about this more. Like, if you're interested in seeing the Marvel like characters that they have to show, for some reason they held them off until the end of the show.
Mhm.
Like they
What the
start.
hell? I thought they were
Yeah.
gonna sprinkle them. I assume that.
No, they do. But
Mhm.
like the thing is, when they first start giving to you, you don't even know, because they're like, I had to look stuff up and be like, that's a Marvel character.
That's funny.
That's bottom of the
'Cause
barrel.
I saw Silver Samurai in it, and I thought that was a
Last-
clear Big Hero
la-
6 reference.
last
that
two
they were going
episodes.
with. Well, no, in the first
No,
episode or second episode or something.
No, yeah, there's like somebody dressed as a
Oh,
samurai.
it's a
on the
cosplayer.
street. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
okay,
cosplayer.
okay.
Yeah, it's a cosplayer.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I thought he was doing like some Big Hero 6 shit. Okay, never mind.
No. But yeah, there is he does show up, and he's the big
The real
superhero.
one, the real.
Yeah, the real
Yes,
one shows up.
yes.
At
Does
the
the
end
Big
of
Hero
story.
6 show up? Oh, you said no Sunfire.
No Big Hero 6.
Okay.
Just I can name them for you. What, there was like Fat Cobra, which they didn't call him Fat Cobra in the show, did they?
No, they didn't.
It was something else Cobra, and I can't remember what the hell it was. I can find it. Hold on. Fat Cobra was one.
Oh, was it Twin Cobra or Double Dragon or something like that? That guy?
No, the Double Dragons was a club or a place they went to. But
No,
like,
he called one of the gang members.
Yeah, he has like
earlier that
two
stole the
snakes.
sword.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
called
he
him.
called him Double Dragon.
oh no, you'll know Fat Cobra when you see
Oh,
Fat
okay, okay.
Cobra. He's still something Cobra. I just can't remember what the first part of his name was. IMDb doesn't.
You got
have
Lady Bullseye.
Lady Bullseye does show up in the story, which I thought was interesting because Bullseye is the one like Marvel villain that shows up in the comic book. But they're like, we can't get Bullseye, but we can get Lady Bullseye. You
Yeah.
know, so
That's funny.
there's
She's
Yuki.
doing the Daredevil show.
Yuki, are you familiar with Yuki, Frank?
She was in Wolverine, right?
No, that's Yukio.
Or
Oh.
Yuriko. There's also Yuriko.
Yeah, I'm talking about Yuki. Yuki.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know if it's because of comics.
She looks like a Japanese like ghost. She's in the comics as she's a member of the Hand.
Ghost.
She's a member of the Hand in the comics.
Hmm.
The
Um,
ghosts the Hand have a
Wait,
ghost on their team.
What kind of ghost
I
are
don't-
we talking? Ghost like Dark Horse Ghost or ghost like
No,
like a-
more like the Ring.
Oh, that sounds cool. I gotta look that up.
Isn't that
Kind of
Korean?
like that.
Yeah.
I said
We're
like.
traditional-
I said like. I didn't say it was the ring.
She's the ring. Sweet.
Um,
You heard it here, folks. We're scooping.
Yeah, or
Oh,
kind of like
snap. She looks crazy.
yeah, she looks really cool.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, right? Was there not
Oh,
Ian?
I'm thinking of Yukio from freaking Deadpool 2.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
what
Yukio.
that's what Ricky said too.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
Ricky.
I said
Yeah.
Yuki from Wolverine.
No, and I said that's Yukio. That's not Yuki.
No,
name-
Yukio's from Daredevil though. Like, or I was saying Yuriko from
Oh.
Wolverine.
Oh, you're
The
hurting me.
Wolverine. But yeah, no, it's right.
That's Yuriko. That's Yuriko.
Okay.
Oh God, this is just you go hang out
Sorry.
with Olivia Munn.
Who's
So
on
many
third?
names.
Sorry, I'll be
Anyways,
right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
oh, it's cool. Anyways, yeah, and then Silver Samurai is like the big one that shows up, and it's actually cooler once these characters start showing up, but it takes a really long time.
So
before
does
they
it leave
do
it
it.
open for a season 2?
Yes.
Cool. With
I
Jason
mean,
Sudeikis?
that was
or without?
obvious in that first show,
So
first
here's
episode, right?
here's the thing.
Was it obvious?
The show, because you know how every episode ends with the title screen, the title, and then like they do an extra scene right
Like a
afterwards.
little sting and then it goes. to the
Yeah,
credits?
actually, Invincible does that too. That's how Invincible
I don't
does.
care about it. I
Um,
don't care about that shit.
but every episode of Hitmonkey does that. It has like a stinger right afterwards, right?
Yeah.
The way Hitmonkey ends in the final episode is definitely leaves room for a second season without Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, sweet.
And I was like, yes, please. And then the stinger happens. And he's like, I'm back, guys. And I'm like, no. I was so sad. I was so sad when he came back. He's like, you can't get rid of me, monkey. And I was like, God damn it.
And
Did you feel that, Ian, when he
Totally.
when the show ended without him, and you're like, yes, I could actually really enjoy a second season of this show. The other reason that I'm not super excited about the second season of the show is they made Olivia Munn the new Lady Bullseye at the end.
Yeah.
And
No,
I'm like, great.
Yeah,
first
sign me up.
actress.
I was excited for season 2 right before that stinger, but
Yeah.
like I was like, cool, we're going to New York, which means we're gonna get more Marvel characters and specifically some characters like some big ones.
Yeah.
And we got rid of Jason Sudeikis, so we're looking strong for season 2. Like I said before earlier, I do allow a show a season to figure itself out and then go into season 2 strong. And I was like, yeah. And then he popped back up, and I was like, no. All right, well, okay, we're doing this, but at least we'll be in New York. Is where my brain settled at the end. I was like, all right, I'm excited to see who they will bring in from the bigger
Armadillo.
I just remembered the
Tarantula.
other drip feeding of characters. Kingpin is referenced. They actually show him early, like I want to say like the 4th episode. You see Kingpin, and you're like, okay. But before that, you actually see Olivia Munn's character, reading a Punisher comic, which was like confusing.
That was
to me,
weird.
I was like,
The kid has a Galactus shirt on.
and then the
in
kid has a
second-
Galactus shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, is this actual Marvel or not? So it took a while before it was like, no, we are Marvel. We just I don't know, we're just playing with you, like
We
They,
just wanted
they
to
established even in the MCU that they read comic books based on their
I know
the heroes.
Like,
Yeah.
which is always weird. Like
It's weird,
what,
right?
do they call Peter Parker in Spider-Man comics?
Yeah. And then
It's
there
Like
is another,
Galactus? Like Galactus? Like I kind of feel like if you know about Galactus,
right?
probably are
If
dead.
you know
Like-
if you know about Galactus, you probably
We
have
had to
been
think about this. Like,
traumatized.
it'd be the equivalent of us having like a Bin Laden Marvel Legends. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And then there is one other reference when there's a moment where because Hitmonkey ends up on the news a lot on the show, and it's really funny. But there's one moment where some characters are watching the news, and down in the bottom in the news, the extra additional other story headline, you see something about AIM and MODOK. Like MODOK is referenced in the news, and I thought that was funny because Ricky, you know the history of Hitmonkey, right? You want to explain it to anybody?
This was part of a 4-show get for Hulu, right? It was MODOK, Hitmonkey, Howard the Duck, and the last
Tiger
one
and
slipping-
Dazzler. Tiger and
Tiger
Dazzler.
and Dazzler. And they were gonna each have their own show, and they were all gonna come together to form the Offenders, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And they were
then,
supposed to be the same like animation style and everything, right?
I don't
Originally?
know because because MODOK's not the same animation style.
No. I think originally when they were planning the
Yeah.
4 shows to work together, that they would
This-
all be the
this
same
all-
similar style. Like what if, sort of, not that style,
This is
but they
all-
would all be the same style.
Mhm. Like
But then,
pre-Disney
they weren't.
buying or the pre-Disney merger, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming everything got muddy when that merger happened. But you still have the rights somehow, and that's how we ended up with the MODOK and a Hitmonkey show.
We did.
Yeah. And I thought it was really funny because it's like it still says Jeff Loeb, executive producer on this one, even after he's been fired for years, right? Like years and years and years he's been fired from them. And I
I
also,
thought he'd come back because I saw his name in the
Nah.
credits and I was like, oh, cool. I guess they got him back because I don't
Nah.
have a problem with Jeff Loeb the way you do.
Well, I have a problem with Jeff Loeb in that he develops like TV to fit the rules of TV. In that, you know what I mean? Like the major critique of every Netflix show, minus the first season of Daredevil, is, and even some people criticize Daredevil for this, but it was a little long in the tooth, right? Like you could have cut out a few episodes in most of those seasons and the show would have worked better. It would have been a tighter story. That was definitely a critique Ricky had back then, right?
Of Daredevil?
For
Like-
most of the shows, like even Daredevil season 2,
Oh, I was gonna say, okay.
Luke
season
Cage,
2 for sure.
like Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, all those shows were longer than they needed to be.
Yeah, they're like 2 or 3 episodes long.
And I felt like that's because Jeff Loeb kept saying, okay, I'm working with Netflix. Netflix is ordering 13 episodes. We do this, you know? And so honestly, that's how MODOK felt to me too, was like, this could have been a tighter story. Like, and same with Hitmonkey. Like, do you know how crappy it is for me to tell you guys, like, guys, if you can make it to episode 8, it's pretty good. Like that's not cool. You know what I mean? You don't want to say that.
But it's like the idea you run the show on Hulu and then you sell it to fucking Spike, right? And
or you just keep it on Hulu forever. You know what I mean? Like, because that's where Disney owns their stuff. But the reason I'm calling it, you know, the Jeff Loeb thing is because like we've seen the difference this year, right? Where this year the shows are as long as they need to be, to tell the story they're telling, right? And sometimes they're shorter than they were supposed to be, right? Like we got ripped off on an episode of WandaVision. We got ripped off on an episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon, yeah.
Yeah, and supposedly and What If, right? All of those shows got less, but they were tighter stories because they didn't fit, like they didn't have to be X number of minutes long, right? They were as long as they were in each chapter, right? And I think it's just a more organic way of telling a story. So it's awkward to go from those to go back to Hitmonkey and be like, all right, here we go again. Got to do 10 episodes.
Is it like going from Iron Man 1 2008 to going to the Incredible Hulk that came out later? Is it like that? Because the Incredible Hulk uses the old style of Marvel
fair.
comics. A lot of cutesy jokes and stuff.
Yeah, it is fair. It's a fair analysis or a fair critique of it. So I'm not faulting you for that one. It is like that. So I like Jeff Loeb, but I like him as a comic writer for sure. But as an executive producer, I start seeing his name on all the things that share the similar, you know,
you
problems.
Get Heroes flashbacks or or Lost. Didn't he do? He executive produced Lost, didn't he?
No, I don't think so. But Heroes definitely.
Yeah.
Or didn't he do like a Teen Wolf? Or no, he did all the Hulu shows, didn't he? Cloak and Dagger, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Runaways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that could have used a couple chops.
He was just in charge of Marvel TV, and so
dude, season 1 they hadn't even run away yet.
It's pretty. He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. He's not wrong. Yeah. And I think that was my problem with Hit Monkey is it took so long for him to just be Hit Monkey. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he killed people along the way, but like
he didn't go full Hit Monkey.
Yes, give me the monkey.
Yeah. It was this show should have been Rise of Hit Monkey, like something like that. But
Rise of Hit Monkey. That's kind of cool. Rise of the Planet of the Hit Monkey.
Yeah, but do you have any parting words about this? Do you guys, based on what Ian and I were telling you, do you think you're going to watch more of it, or?
Oh, definitely. I'm interested enough. I like the monkey.
And now that I know Jason Samurai,
and now that I know Jason Sudeikis isn't going to be in it for at least an episode, I'm stoked on it.
Well, I didn't say that. He's still in that episode.
Well, I mean,
there's just giant chunks where there's less of him. Yeah.
Now that I know he's going to be not present through a good amount of the episode, like I'm pretty excited for it.
It was such a good episode.
It's like because like I mean, the reason I got through the show so fast is because I was background watching it while I was doing stuff on the working on the computer, like so. And I know that's not fair to an animation show to be background watching it, you know what I mean? But like, I wasn't loving the animation, you know what I mean? So like, most of the time, I would just kind of like look when I heard people, when I heard the eek ook ook, you know, like I would look over because sometimes they'd subtitle that, right? Like they'd subtitle him. So when he speaks to animals, I would pay attention. But when I started noticing like there was a lot of that in episode 8, I'm like, I think I'm missing something here. So I actually had to stop, rewind, and just pay attention to episode 8. So maybe that's also why I love episode 8 more, because that was the only one where my eyes were completely focused on it the entire time.
Got it.
But I mean, also it was just better. So like,
it really was. It really was.
Yeah. That's why Ian made me feel validated, because I'm like, he watched it for legit. Like, I'm assuming were you background watching the show, or?
I mean, I was mostly watching it. No, I mostly watched it.
Mostly dead.
Yeah, mostly dead. Yeah.
No, I watched. I mean, I think episode 6. I was like starting to fall asleep on the couch a little bit. That's why I had to kind of rewind a little bit, and I was like, oh, I missed a minute. Whatever, no big deal.
When your eyes get a little too heavy.
Yeah, exactly. But then I stopped, till the next day or till today, and I watched the rest, and yeah, I got to 8, and I was like, oh dang, this is good.
Yeah. Good. So I think what we're saying is the episode 8 gets 2 opposable thumbs up. The other ones are like, I don't know what's going on. But
I wonder if watching Invincible in that manner for me would be.
Just watch episode 8 of Invincible.
No. I mean, is Jason Sudeikis not in Invincible? That's perfect. That sounds good. No, watching it, background watching it, like
is he not in Invincible? I'm not even sure he's not in Invincible.
I don't know if he's not.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
But I know I watched episode 2 of Invincible again. I got 1 to 2. This was like last week. And like I heard a song that was in there, and I'm like, oh man, I love this song. And then I was all like, man, I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna watch episode 3. I'm gonna do it, and then I never do it. So I wonder if I just toss on a video game, play Invincible, or watch Invincible like on the side background watch. Do you think it would be more enjoyable? Do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I think.
But that's how I did Hit Monkey, and that's how I got through it, and so. But I'm just curious, like before we go, like, do you guys, like Frank and Ricky, do you have any questions for us about not Invincible, about Hit Monkey before, like that you would want answered?
No, you answered all the big ones in my opinion.
What is your favorite Hit Monkey kill?
That's a good one.
Probably episode 8.
Yeah.
What's the kill, or is it
I liked anything, like basically once we got the katana, I was anything where he's slicing fools up, I was awesome. I was okay with. Well, you know what? Actually, okay. So there's a point where, and I guess I'll just spoil this for you guys. The criminal organization put out a bounty on him, and it's
full on John Wick scene too.
Yeah,
excommunicado.
He is being so it goes out to everybody. So the next little section of the show goes with him being attacked by all these different assassins, and some of them are pretty cool looking. Some of them were like whatever, but there's one of them was a cop, and he comes in like full SWAT outfit and like throws some smoke down, and Hitmonkey just goes in. He doesn't even care, and he just like in the smoke. You just see, blade flash, and then a head comes rolling out of the smoke, and it was pretty slick. I was like, okay, that was dope. I'm in for that. But I always appreciate a good, anything with a good kill from assassins.
I think all the murder was the most fun part of the show. Like I think
totally.
Like easily that was the most fun part of the show. Like so that's probably why I liked it better than MODOK too, is because like at least it had something. It was just like balls to the wall insanity. Like it was just like, let's do gore everywhere, so if you can be down for like, you could mute that show honestly, and it's pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool.
Dude, watch it with subtitles.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Mute it and
Ricky,
watch it with
Ricky, out of
subtitles.
curiosity, like having gone as far as I've gone, what's your favorite kill so far? Or do you have a favorite kill so far?
I really like is it his first kill with the lady in the
one that gets sawed in half?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
That's
like
pretty
that
cool.
whole scene, she gets she trips in the grinder, and then he's like watching her.
It's a pretty funny one.
Watching her die.
When I said episode 8 earlier, I think I don't want to spoil that one for you guys because I think you'd actually like that kill. But I think the reason I like the kill that is in episode 8 is because it was the only kill in the entire show that I felt had a lot of emotion behind it.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And so there's like he actually goes through an emotional journey and is cleansed kind of like, or is reborn from that kill. He's reborn from that kill.
Did you see Lindsay's comment?
The answer to this question is 100% Jason Sudeikis ghost, because he's a ghost. Like he can't really kill him.
If it were a comedy fight, Archer, hands down.
Absolutely,
yeah. Archer, like I felt like Jason Sudeikis was the poor man's Archer through the entire show.
He was trying to channel him, and he didn't do a great job.
Who would win in a fight, Hitmonkey or Pete Davidson? We're coming with the fire questions right now.
Definitely Hitmonkey in a fist fight.
In a fight for sure.
But in a fight for Babe getting, I'm going to say Pete Davidson, but I haven't finished.
Actually, ooh, yeah. Yeah, and that's actually in the comic too. That's part of his story, right? His character is you learn that the ghost teaches him to hide behind the silhouette of a woman. So because like when women are going into clubs and stuff, when they carry this cute monkey with them, nobody pays any mind to the monkey. So he actually learns to surround himself by beautiful women all the time. And it's a tactic that works very well.
Is that what Pete Davidson is doing? Do you think?
Yeah, he's a Hitmonkey.
He's a Hitmonkey.
He might actually be Hitmonkey.
He is a Hitmonkey.
He's shaved Hitmonkey. I think we just figured this out, guys.
We just figured it all out. That explains his face.
Who would win in a tattoo gunfight? Definitely Hitmonkey, unless we just crack the code and they're the same person. Which
it's one and the same. You ever see him in a room together? No.
I mean,
it's true.
Like, have you seen Pete Davidson's hair lately?
I know.
He literally looks like Hitmonkey. So put some glasses and a suit on that guy. You got a monkey. You got him a cop.
I saw him twirling the guns in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
In that brief scene.
But thanks for letting us rant about this, guys. I'm glad that we were telling the two people who don't care about spoilers. There's still a lot we didn't spoil, but like, it's mostly just a lot of violence, a lot of cool action and stuff. But sadly, Jason Sudeikis is coming back if they do a second season, unless they just can't afford him anymore, or they just don't do a second season.
That'd be great.
Unless they heard Mason, then it's theory, and they just swap him out with somebody.
I would take a lot of people over Jason Sudeikis in that role. I think Danny DeVito would be great too.
That'd be pretty good.
I'd be good with that.
How good is he at improv though? I've never seen him. I don't think I've ever seen him just.
I don't know that it needs to be improv, but I think he's pretty good at it.
I feel like a lot of Sonny's improv.
Yeah, I think a lot of Sonny is actually.
It just has a lot of that whole interdimensional cable kind of feel to it whenever Jason Sudeikis talks. Yeah,
I feel you. So So I think what we're just trying to tell anybody who's going to check this out after the fact, Jason Sudeikis. Yeah, that's what that show is.
It is.
Foot gloves.
Love it or hate him.
He
It's
does have
50%.
foot gloves.
It's 50% Jason Sudeikis and 50% a monkey doing some cool stuff.
This is going to be our last comment because we're going to go away soon. But Lindsay knows how much this hurts me because, and she's asking an episode where Hit Monkey goes to a tailor for his foot gloves, and she knows it's a sore spot for me because I have this toy in front of me right now that I've had for years, and I didn't realize how cool it was until this week. I started messing around with it. I was like, it's a pretty cool toy, with the exception of the fact that they didn't paint his feet or his hands. So they're black, and I assume they're actually shiny. So I assume they're supposed to be gloves on all four hands or feet or whatever you want to call them. And that bums me out. It bums me out because they could have just painted him pink.
It's true.
Like, why would a monkey? Like, it's not like he's gonna conceal his fingerprints. Like, if he steps in blood, it's a monkey's paw. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna have to run the records for every monkey who's
But
ever
in the
killed
MCU, there's a lot of monkeys. Who's that guy? The red mist or the red whatever his name is that has he has an army of monkeys. So it could be him. It could be one of his gang. It could be him.
And they've got them all fingerprinted too. So
Yeah, they've got them all fingerprinted.
Then they'll know it's the same monkey. Like you want different monkeys.
Yeah, I feel that's very monkey-cist of you. It's very primate-cist.
All right, well, my Hit Monkey has gloves, and that's all we got to say for this show. So we're gonna log off soon. But before we go, thank you to Ian, Ricky, and Frank for nerding out with me.
Thanks for having me.
This was very indulgent. We watched Hit Monkey, and you guys sat back and let Ian and I talk to you the whole time. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we go? Go for it, Frank.
Yo. Oh, Red Ghost. Red Ghost is the name of the monkey guy. Red Ghost. Okay, but go ahead and smash that like button the way Pete Davidson's going to smash Kim Kardashian later.
Jeez.
And leave a comment. Leave a comment if you don't like us. If you don't like me making stupid jokes like that, I'll make other stupid jokes. Don't worry. And be sure to join our Patreon. Catch us on the live show in just a few seconds.
And thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth, incling Ian, who's actually
You're welcome.
Thanks,
and
Ian.
for our audience
You're
for tuning
welcome.
in and giving us those hot questions that we got. Thanks for watching Den Excelsior. Have a great weekend, everyone, and see you next time, true believers.
See you guys.